Good evening. I have prepped some bobbins. So, here we are. We have our new pin pot. We have some bobbins. I currently put them on sticks because the torture device, well, is a torture device. They don't seem to stay in here. I need to have more in here, I think, to help them be more stable. Hence, they slide about a bit. So let me move these to the side. And as you can see, I've done about 30 pairs of bobbins. I thought there were only 35 pairs of bobbins in it. Turns out there's 40 something. And I seem to recall that it was more like 92 bobbins than 70 something. So to be fair to myself, yeah. So let's move them over there. Oh, bollocks. That's right. Well, I can explain that with they fell out. This is going to be slightly annoying, actually, which is really weird when you consider that the 6 pairs for the Flanders lot seemed really stable. So I'm not quite sure why these are less stable, unless they've stretched, I guess. But anyway, we're going to need you, so pin pot and the gazillion pins. 8 million pins. Here we go. Ow! That's a good start. Stab myself. Probably should have filled hedgy, really. Ow, that went straight up under my nail. No blood. So. Let's put that over there. You've come undone. Well done. It's amazing how well sometimes these bobbins come undone, considering I probably do need to do most of them as double wraps. But I didn't need to with the Flanders. So it's a little bit weird. Anyway. Now, oh, for goodness sake, you can't all have come undone. Looks like you have. They don't like it when you release tension on them. And the thread does tend to show free will, for want of a better description. And I know you can't really see what I'm doing. Let me turn the yawns off. I haven't yawned yet. But it is really annoying to try and get these knots on bobbins at the best of times, because the thread doesn't kind of want to bend. Now, one thing I have found is, obviously a lot of the bobbins are going to be short. I don't think they're going to do the whole square, in other words. But one of the things I have found is that and I've lost my brain cells already. This is not the day, is it? I spent all day winding these. Well, I spent all my spare time last night and today winding these. Let's get on with it. These pins are really heavily packed in this pot. I'm not sure they're going to stay in there. And you're just coming undone. Look. I know, that doesn't help. But they're kind of coming undone. So I think we need to do the double wrap thing, which is harder than it sounds. About like that. See if that helps. That is an appalling knot. This one's got a knobble on the top, which doesn't help. And that's far too long. And how the fuck? How? For Christ's sake. Right, you're the one that I've done. Let's try this again, because clearly you didn't like doing this well enough. So I'm going to put double knots on everything, because, well, this one's come undone again already. So double wind. So, problem with these bobbins, as you know, I struggle to see whether things are on top of other things when they're the same colour and made of the same shit. So in trying to tie the knots on these bobbins, I can't see unless I stick them on the end of my face. And to do that, of course, means I'm not on camera. So you can't see what I'm doing. And grab them. But as I was about to say, the one thing I did notice was that that's not a good thing. Was that the new thing of thread feels thinner than the last one, but they're definitely the same thread, if you know what I mean. They're the same make, model kind of deal. So I don't quite know why they're not. I've got backache already. Have I got backache already? I've only done 2 wretched bobbins. These don't feel half as heavy. They don't feel as heavy. How can they not feel as heavy? It's like they're not the same. They don't feel as heavy, which is very odd. So yes, this is not going to be a fast start. Because it's still got my headache, which doesn't help. I mean, it's better than it was, but it's still very much, you know, alive and kicking. For goodness sake. Not doing very well with double knots, but there we go. You see, they don't pull out, which is this is gonna be so annoying. Why is it? How can it be so much different? Have you ever had one of those headaches where the moment you try and think, you just can't? It's like all possible brain cells have been diverted to shouting ouch, you know. So you've already come undone. All of these are pointy end up. For goodness sake. I can't see them because they're all grey and shiny. Yeah, they're all freaking pointy end up. I really do mean it. They are literally all pointy end up. Bar about 5, you know. Hang on, let's turn this round a little. And tilt it down a bit to give these a bit of weight. So I need obviously some level of tension on it to keep the knots on the rose, which of course the other pillow had because it is rounded, which is why I've tilted the pillow. Even though normally I spend my life moaning. But then they roll, so that's not a good plan. As you can see, this one, for example, I don't expect to last very long, but I need to look up some lyrics. I need to read what the actual lyrics are, because it's a rip of an older song, so it's the same tune, some of the same lyrics, but not all of them. So just to clarify, the beautiful song Abracadabra got butchered by Eminem, and obviously the original chorus was Abracadabra cadabra, I want to reach out and grab ya. He's changed it to Abracadabra cadabra, I'm about to reach in my bag, bruh. No wonder I was confused by the lyrics. I could hear the I'm about to reach, but I couldn't make out the last two words well. The reason it came up is I'm listening to Darth Microtransactions, something I do a lot of the time. I listen to a couple of streamers, a bit like a radio show, although they're streaming and there are graphics, I'm not looking. And he's got like 80s, 90s tunes on, which is, you know, but that one came up, and I really like Abracadabra, and I've heard that one before. It's just not played very often, and probably because, well, the original's so much better. And one of the things that I have found amusing is the number of times you get on, like, the short videos, the who did it better, and they'll have, like, you know, mum or whatever, or dad or whatever, dancing, and kid dancing, and they'll have, like, this, you know, Dua Lipa or Dua Lipa, whatever her name is, or whatever, Venga Boys or something, and then play the original, and it's really bizarre because most of us recognised the original who were around the first time round, but it's also quite amusing to see just how many of them are being remade with mixed with new lyrics or done as just total rips, or I find it interesting. Some of them I really quite like as the new version. I mean, I won't say it's always true that you always like the original, because there's definitely been some revisions that I prefer over the original. No offence, Disturbed Sounds of Silence, far better in my eyes than the Paul Simon and Garfunkel one. The original one to me sounded tinny and crap, and the Disturbed one's got a bit of balls to it. And I like that. And I just like how the Disturbed one's done. Maybe it is a bit more of a sign of the times, but I do like that one. So that there are some, and then there are some that should just, don't mess with it, love. Just try not to. And one of the most harmful things that happens is Christmas time. You get, I can't remember who does it. It's not Debenhams. It's M&S. They usually rip someone's song and have someone else sing it for their Christmas advert. And sometimes it is horrendous. A couple of years ago, they butchered my all-time favourite song. It's my all-time favourite song for a lot of reasons, but at the same time, it's not that I don't love, and I wouldn't dance to it, I need to point out. But I have a real thing for Electric Dreams. And I'm sorry, but if you pick that as your Christmas song, you do not know what that song was about. Because it's about suicide. So let's not pretend here that that's really appropriate for a Christmas song. Plus they had this girl singing it all kind of almost weak and I'm not going to sing it too well, but it was like, I only knew you for a while. And you're like, no, that's not. It's an upbeat song saying goodbye. It's not, it's just not appropriate for Christmas. It's just not a Christmas song. Please, can we not, So yeah. I can see you've just popped off the end. I swear you're getting longer because you are. What the? Is this round the wrong way? No. It just feels like it. Let's shorten you a bit. See, I shortened it and it somehow isn't shorter. How does that work? How is that done twice? That's not right. Something's wrong. Because it just is. So, I would say make you longer, but you're double knotted and so don't want to do that. Okay. There, that's better. But as you can see, these do take up a lot less room. So the hole is a good thing. Oh, I've got itchy back. Hang on. Scratchy, scratchy. That's a good boy. Hello. You came up the easy way. You're a good boy. Yes. Yes, you are. Oh, my little house hippo. Yes, you are. You're a good boy. You are. Yes, you are. Yes, good boy. You is. Yes, you is. Yes, you is. Yes, you is. Oh. You are, baby. Yes, good boy. Oh. Licking my hands, however, is possibly not what Mummy needs right now. Because we're not making the speediest of work here. No. I know we don't usually at the start because they all move around. But I may have perfected the weaver's knot. Well, I say perfected. I'm having more success than fails now, for I have noticed things. Other than there seems to be 90 different ways of achieving the same knot, and they all think it's the same knot, but it's not. One lady, God help her, does a slip knot that she puts over another thread, yanks on, and hope that it locks and it won't slip. But even as she points out, if you pull on the wrong thread and put a bit of tension on it, it will unpop and slide straight out. Well, that's a shit knot then. I believe the knot that I am doing is called a shape bend. Now, I do not have a book of knots. I do not want a book of knots. I don't need more hobbies and more information in my head. But I am thinking of the North Celts who know all the names of these things. I believe it is supposed to be a sheep bend. And I think some of the reason that I struggle so much with it is because normally you do these with, let's call it, more solid substance than a bit of sewing thread. So if you have two tails, you can hold them, whereas in thread they just kind of droop and hang down your thumb kind of thing. So it's very difficult to make the shapes because they collapse on themselves, they twist, you can see the dog. That was the dog's tongue, by the way, not mine. Just in case you wondered. Because he does like licking his nose. Probably because his sister's scratched it a few times over the last few years. Quite severely on a couple of occasions. Looked like he'd had a bit of a fight with, Edward Scissorhands. But I do think that I have come up with I am more understanding how it works, and so I can make it work rather than it works well the way it is, if that makes sense. So when you do it, I do it a bit like the really patronising bunny ears video. But because he's so patronising in the patronising bunny ears one, and it's like he's had five pints of beer before he started the video, and it does make it difficult to follow because he's too busy laughing at his own jokes. Plus, of course, he's got cord. He's got a cord that you can do it with. So, for example, I happen to have two cords, she said, noticing that they were on my desk. Right. Let me take the elastic band off one and unknot the other. So, now I have two bits of cord. Ta-da! There's one. And here's the other. Now, I'm not going to pull them tight at the end of this. But, in his video, ignoring the ends, obviously, where's the other end of this one? Because, oh no, this is just a USB. Right. So, he says, one across, one under, wrap round. You see, this is already trying to tiddle twist that way, not round the way I want. Go over the top. That then comes back through here, like this. And then you have to pull on these two and this for it to work. So if I do that, you can see that this one's bending in half, and this one then gives you your sheep knot, right? The problem is when you're doing it with stupid tiny threads, you can't force it to do this loop easily because, well, it's got no substance to it. And so this crumples down and kind of tries to disappear in your thumb. This won't stay here. Tucking this through here is awkward. So it's so much harder because you've not got any substance to the things you're tying. And you know, I need to ask Nauticelt to have a go and see if he can come up with an easier way of doing it. Because I want it at the ends of the knot. Oh, sorry, the ends of the thread. Dog, you're really not helping. That's right, there's a dog in my lap. I can't really show you, but it now means the furthest I can reach is here, which means I can't put pins in without squishing him. But he's being a good boy, and I don't really want to disturb him. So I'm going to try and curl round him a bit. I do love my puppies. Oh, give me a pin. I don't care if it's the pointy end. What's the matter, little man? What's the matter? It's like he's sad. As you know, I suffer from migraines, and one of the things that really surprised me, Rory, you can't get more on my lap than you already are. Not really. Can you? As you can see, there is dog. It's not helping, my man. Is that your cushion now? Is that your new cushion? Is it? Is that your cushion? You're going to knock the light over in a minute. No, little man. Anyway, I was about to say, as you know, I suffer a lot of migraines and headaches and things, and I have never forgotten. Everyone bangs on about Cheetos, right? Now, they're not common here in the UK, but I found that you could get them on Amazon, so I ordered a packet. Actually, I ordered a couple of packets. I ordered one of each of the flavours that they had. So they had a cheesy one, a chilli one, and anyway. Now, I've eaten some terrible food in my time, so the flavour was not the issue here. They just tasted like sticks, crunchy sticks of lard. It was really weird. They didn't really taste of anything, and I wasn't overly enamoured. So, being me, I fed some to the dogs. If you ever want to know what a migraine looks like, all I had to do was look at Amy that day. That dog had a migraine. She had she had a squint on her. Because you know the lights were too bright. The moment there was a noise, she'd even quiet ones, she kind of flinched. She had the whole thing, and poor dog. So I gave the other Cheetos away because clearly no one here was going to be eating them. I'm sure Rory would have eaten them, but then that wouldn't have been fair on the rest of us because we couldn't have any. So we got rid of the Cheetos because, oh, my sister loves Cheetos. Good, she can have them. Take them away, Take these vile things. Come on, my man. You need to move. Oh. Hang on, I need to push this back for stability, and I'll move forward a bit. There you go. Right. There you go. Right. I mean, don't get me wrong, we got a lot of bobbins going on over here. I mean, it is quite a few. Rory, can you just sit still? I'm trying to accommodate you, my man. I really am. But you're not making it easy. What I will do, I think, is add the rest of these bobbins. Hot apple cider. I've never tried cider hot, It's not something I've had. Let me just report the spam bot, because I love reporting spam bots. It's my favourite thing to do. One less spam bot. So yeah, I've never had hot apple cider. So I wound lots of bobbins and I've stuck them in my sticks because, well, sticks. Mainly because the torture device that I've got, the rack thing to hang them on, is a little bit fragile. Well, it's not fragile, but when you put it together to put it up, it doesn't... The problem I have with the torture device is that you put it together and it's got two foldy out bits. There's the base, two foldy out bits, and then a bar that you attach across the bottom. The problem is that the bar sits on top. Bobbins. Yes, I have monumental pile of bobbins, and I assume because I ordered the metric shit ton of bobbins, they sent me a freebie, which I'm going to be using. They sent me 12. They're in a stick, so bear with it. Ones with beads in. So we're using the beads for our cloth stitch pair to denote them so I don't ignore them. So that's a thing. So yes, I have a rather large box of the bobbins, and of course, moreover, now many of them, and already I'm finding myself a little bit put aside. How do I explain this? The bobbins on a stick weigh quite a bit. And when we had them on, as we've got them, for example, on this project here, you can see the same bobbins, right? They add a lot of weight to it, and because it's a domed pillow, they hang and they sit really well, and they don't mess me about, and they do as they're told. This is a flat pillow. They don't sit so well on a flat pillow. They don't work so well because they're heavy on a flat pillow because there's nothing to pull on the thread. So from that point of view, so I wanted to add these so that I can get them kind of out the way and added. Because that way I don't have to have more things on my pillow. I've got my new pot of pins. Big motherfucking pot of pins. As you can see, it's quite a big pot of pins. 500 grams of pins, to be more accurate. Rory the dog is being annoying. And what did you hear? Because you started that one. Normally his sister starts stuff and he goes along as backup. So yes, these are the new bobbins, and some of the bobbins, you'll notice, like this one here, haven't actually got a lot of thread on. What I did today was wind the old bobbins on, well, a big bunch. So, for example, bear in mind, they're in packs of 6 except for the top one. So I've got 3 packs there. So I've got 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 more pairs of bobbins, right? So I did that today and last night so that I'd be able to start my square. Because, well, you know, kind of need to get on with it. Otherwise it'll be, you know, 20, 30 before I finish. And you've come undone because you're a naughty bobbin. And this is the thing I'm discovering, because they've not got the weight on them, they are tending to come off, which is slightly irritating. But I don't have spangles, so to be honest, I'm happy. And obviously, I can have many more of them. I mean, normally at this point, I'm getting really pissy because the spread of bobbins was huge. Because, well, the other bobbins, she says, where's my reject bag? So I've got a bag of rejects here. These are the ones that I've emptied or, you know, replaced. You know, these are considerably fatter, so they to make it spread out a lot more. And these really are light as a feather. By the way, this is a headphones bag, in case you're wondering what the bag was. It was a headphone bag, which I'm not intending to ever put headphones in. So I thought, I can put my bobbins in there for the moment. So I did. One thing I do need to do is I need to find myself some decent cotton, because so much cotton you buy these days is made of nothing. It's like transparent, it's so thin. And so if you make things out of it, they don't feel like they'll take weight. They feel like they're going to rip. The stitches will rip out them no matter what you do. They just feel really flimsy. And I want thicker cloth, but not like tent canvas, you know? Because I did buy me some heavier weight cloth. I think I kind of extremed it somehow, because it really was tent kind of canvas stuff. So that was not a best plan or a best outcome. And where have you come from? You've come undone. That's what that's all about. I don't recognise this song at all. So yes, I appreciate you arriving and coming to keep me company, because I do struggle when it's just me. It's hard to have a conversation when there's just you. I don't know how radio DJs do it, but I guess that's why I'm not a radio DJ, I guess. But then, of course, to be honest, they don't really necessarily talk a lot. They kind of go, and next up is, and play a tune. And that was so-and-so. You know, maybe a bit of a fun fact about it. Like, did you know that, you know, this was originally designed for, you know, to be sung by so-and-so. And you kind of think, no, I didn't know that. And then they play the next one, and you're like, okay. Something wonky here. Oh, there it is. It was just a tension thing. Okay. You've come off the top again. Fine. Coming off the top and disappearing into the, which makes it harder to wind them up if they slip down. But they do slide round a bit more, as you can see, although this one's got out of hand. Closer to me than that. I have an amazing ability to pick pins up and flick them everywhere. So my floor is absolutely littered with pins. I spend all day spotting yet another pin and picking it up. And I run magnets around and everything, but you'd still be surprised how many pins are on the floor. Oh, backache, backache. You need to get there like that. See, they keep coming undone, and this is definitely kind of frustrating. Now we need, what are you? just undoing. I can feel that, even though you have a knot on you. You're now getting longer, I can feel that. And you just come undone again. You're slipping again. Can you stop? Go in the middle. And you're coming undone again. I feel you move. I do. I can feel it. You touch them and you can feel them slip. It's hard to explain, but you touch them to put a bit of tension on and you can feel them slipping down. I'll use this pin then. Now I need another pin to hold you up. Can I have a pin out the pot, please? No. And part of that is because the half hitch relies on a bit of tension, and as you roll them around, as you have to move them from side to side, the picking up and moving isn't necessarily the problem so much. I mean, obviously if you roll them like that, they tend to undo. Now this one, for example, slipped off the rose, but technically that doesn't really matter. The problem is occasionally, and you'll see it, they go baggy and you'll see it slip. You can actually see it doing it, in that you'll do like this. Literally, you stroke them for tension. That's all you need to do. And you'll do that, and the bobbin's just moving down, and you're like, thanks for that. And it does make it difficult then to, when they're slipping, it makes it hard to, you know, traverse the pack kind of thing, because they're growing. And you know, you kind of need them at the same height to grow properly, so that you can work on them, because, you know, it's hard to go over and well, it's hard to bring a bobbin under a thread. You have to hold the bobbin, and if it's down here somewhere, it's not helping. These do feel a little weird with the beads on, I have to say. But it is good to have them denoted, and it's only 2 pairs, so I'm really not that worried. See, there you go. It's just come undone again, and it'll just disappear off into the distance. And that's the problem with it, and it gets really annoying when every time you touch it, you seem to have to put the knot back on. I missed then. And that's far too long. And now it's slipped off down into the rest of the threads, so it's harder to pick the loop up to shorten it. But if that'll make it stay there, it can live there, you know. I am struggling. See, it's doing it again. Look, the half hitch is just rotating round and round and round. It's still got the half hitch, because if you look carefully, you can see it. It just comes off. It's just shit. And I don't know quite what to do, because, well, I tried doing the twice round the top bit, which can help. Didn't help. It then makes it impossible to lengthen them when you need to, without getting grumpy about it. It just feels that whatever I do with this pair of bobbins, it's kind of, this one is being a shit. And it is funny how some bobbins are, it is individual bobbins. Some are crapper than others, and there's almost no rhyme and reason to it, because they look the same as all the others, but somehow one will pay up. One way to combat it, she says, looking desperately for one and not seeing one, are those little elastic bands. These things, for which I have quite a few after all. Grab a pack of ugly, really standy out elastic bands. One way to combat it is put them on from this end, otherwise that's not going to work. To put this around the top, so it just puts a bit of resistance on it. And then you almost don't need the half hitch. But again, this makes it difficult. Well, that's effectively not far off what these are, to be honest, is it? I mean, not that I ever had braces, but these aren't that dissimilar, so, you know. these are the stupid friendship bracelet kind of. It's not why I bought them. I bought them specifically for potential bobbin fights, you know. But I actually do need to take the half hitches off to make it work properly. So what I can do is I can roll that off that way, potentially. Unpick my half hitch, which is harder because it's down here with the... There it is. Wind that back on. And then realise that going this way was the wrong answer. Because... it's now... round the... So let's put that, roll it up, roll you bugger, roll it up like this, like that. So it's doing the job of the half hitch then, and I can grab underneath it and wind it up with a bit of resistance admittedly, but I can wind it up. Better do this one as well. Take the half hitch off, wind it up a bit, roll this back up. So from that point of view, they work all right, but it's like everything, you know. It just adds more problems. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See, what you could do is would be to use different colour elastic bands for the instead of the beads for pairs. Don't really want to have to put elastic bands on all of them. But I do have quite a few elastic bands. Admittedly, only generally I think 100 of each colour, so that could be limiting in other projects, but for this, certainly not. I thought it was. And yeah, I've got other ones like this one, where you try and let the slip knot, the half hitch go a little bit to make them longer, and it's going, no, I don't want to, you scare me. You back a sec. Feels really weird to be using thin pins again. So you've started at it now. It's like they get jealous. I know they're inanimate objects, but it's like they get jealous. Oh, but that one did it. Yeah, I don't care. Stop it. Quit it. Quit it. Quit it. Lips are all dry. Bit of Vaseline's always good for the salt. You've done it again! You've come undone. Yeah, it feels really weird using these thin pins again now. Oh goodness, not Crazy Frog. Had this for ages. Ding, ding. I haven't heard this in forever, and yet why is it you still remember the timings? Oh dear Lord. I actually like Axel F, so I actually liked Crazy Frog, so I shouldn't really admit to that. But I actually did like Crazy Frog because it was Axel F. One guy had it as his ringtone at the office when it was out. God, he was unpopular with everybody else. The guy, Darth Microtransaction, just said, everyone loves this, no one hates this, of course. As I said, I like this, so I just haven't heard it in ages. 6. That's not right. You went one too far. You should have been back in there. can see why this is infuriating, because that made that really hard, even though the knot's still there. Oh my god, this is hamster dance. Bit fast, but... Right. Oops, you should have come out. And this is what I mean about finding the end to make these shorter, is because they've hidden inside the rest. You can't pull them out easily. Right. Now, how many pairs are we putting in a stick? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, possibly 7. think 7 might be about right. See, 5 was kind of full before. Now it's 7. So you get a few more to a stick. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And if I scrape them up from the bottom, they go on even easier. Then I have to try and thing them underneath. So, and some leftovers. What I will do is put you all together to fill out this one a bit. I know it's not enough. Stop sticking on the bottom. So that we can ping. There. Like that. 7 is possibly a bit much, but 6 wasn't enough earlier, so let's take you 2 out so you can be flat. So 6 is the right amount, which means 4 of you've got to come out and 2 of you go in this end. Like that, so that you can be flat. Now, let's take you out. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a spare. And I can put you 2 in this one over here, and you can see why here I was saying it wasn't enough, because these ones are baggy. But it's not, it's still a bit saggy. They fall out if not quite sure. Maybe it's just that one that's a bit saggy. I'm going to call it quits for today. I know I haven't exactly done the hugest amount, but needs must and everything. The start is always slower than the rest because the bobbins move around because they're not sufficiently attached yet, unlike now where they're far more attached and they don't move. They don't kind of, what I mean is that a pair of bobbins, if you pull on one, they don't both move. You can tension properly. So they're a bit short, these bobbins. This is a bit short. Not the bobbins are short. Try and keep so let me take my traditional photo. It will be what I will do is grab a second pack of, pick something very different. They're ugly, they'll do. so that if I need to, I can change all of these over to elastic bands. But there we go. Where did my cloths go? There they are. Put that over there. Some more cloths. You do not need to cover your lace in this many cloths. I just do because it helps keep everything safe from dog. It helps limit the wagging of tail and the other joys that my little furry friends can offer me. It also helps just have a bit of weight on top of it. So yes, that was me for today, I'm afraid. Because it will take till past midnight now to upload, so hence have to call it a day at some point. It is after 10:30 here, so at night that is. So it is a thing. I thank you for your time, I thank you for your company, and I hope to see you again tomorrow. Bye bye.